Moving to a new city can be both exciting and overwhelming, especially when the city is as diverse and dynamic as Toronto. For newcomers or immigrants, finding a place to call home is usually one of the first priorities. The process of renting a condo or even an apartment in Toronto can be challenging, especially if you're unfamiliar with the local norms, the real estate market, or just the process in general. Today, in this video, I will walk you through the steps required to confidently secure your first rental unit in Greater Toronto area. So let's get started. Toronto is known for its vibrant neighborhoods and diverse communities, but it also has a very competitive real estate market. As one of the fastest growing cities in North America, the demand for rental properties is high, especially in desirable areas close to downtown, public transit, and amenities. In Toronto, you'll encounter various types of rental properties, including condos, apartments, or basement apartments. Condos are units within larger residential buildings, often offering amenities such as gyms, pools, or concierge services. These are typically more expensive, however, they offer modern living spaces and facilities. Apartments are units which can be inside high rise buildings or even smaller walk ups. These are more affordable than condos, however, they might not have as many amenities. Lastly, basement apartments are units which would be inside residential houses, often having their own separate entrances. These are more budget friendly, however, they might have less natural light and space. Rent of the property can vary significantly based on the neighborhood, property type, and size. As of mid 2024, these are the prices that you can expect on an average. A one bedroom condo unit would be anywhere between $2,200 to $2,700 per month. A one bedroom apartment could be anywhere between $2,000 to $2,500 per month. A basement apartment can be anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 every month. However, do note that these prices are subjected to change. It is crucial to do your research thoroughly before you start looking. Before diving into your search, make sure to determine how much can you afford to spend on rent each month. A general rule of thumb is to not allocate more than 30% of your gross income towards housing costs. You should also consider other expenses such as transportation, utilities, internet, groceries, and savings. Many landlords in Toronto require you to have more than 3 times or 2.5 times monthly income as your rent. Be prepared to show your proof of income, employment letter, pay slips, or bank statements during the rental application process. Toronto is a city of neighborhoods, each with its own character, amenities, and community vibes. When deciding on a place to rent, consider factors such as proximity to work and schools, access to public transit, safety, and lifestyle preferences. Some of the popular neighborhoods in Toronto are your downtown area, primarily the King West, Queen West, and the Yonge and Bloor area. These are ideal for anyone who wants to be in the heart of the action, as these provide multiple options for shopping, dining, and entertainment. You then have the Midtown area, primarily the Yonge and Eglinton area, the Davisville Village. These are ideal for anyone who's looking for a mix of urban and residential living. These provide good transit options and amenities. You then have your North York area, primarily the Willowdale and the Bayview Village area. These have excellent schools, parks, and provide more affordable housing options. You have the Vaughan area, especially the Vaughan Metropolitan Center, which provides lots of different transit options to downtown and other parts of the city. You can actually reach downtown Toronto within 45 minutes if you take the subway from the Vaughan Metropolitan Center. You then have the Scarborough area, which is great for anyone who's coming in on a budget. It also has a lot of diverse community groups present in that area. So great for anyone who's a newcomer and is going to be renting in the city for the very first time. You also have the Etobicoke area, which provides a more suburban living. This is great for people who are looking for more space and tranquility. Let's talk about preparing your documentation. Toronto's rental market is competitive, and landlords often receive multiple applications for a single property. Having all your documentation ready will give you a better chance of securing your desired rental. Now, some of the essential documents that you need to have are: number one, your credit report. In Canada, landlords typically request a credit report to assess your financial responsibility. If you're a newcomer without Canadian credit history, be prepared to provide alternative documents such as international credit reports or bank statements. Number two, employment letter. This should confirm your job status, position, and income. If you're self employed, you may need to provide tax returns or financial statements. Number three, references. Landlords often ask for references from previous landlords or employers. If you don't have any rental history in Canada, character references can sometimes be helpful. Number four, identification. You should have a valid government ID with you. If you don't have Canadian credit history, some landlords may accept a guarantor or a co-signer, typically someone with a good stable income and good credit in Canada. Let's look at starting your search. Once your budget, neighborhood, and documentation are in place, it's time to start searching for your new home. Where to look? You could look at online listings. Websites like Realtor.ca, Zillow, and Kijiji are popular for finding rental listings. Condos.ca is another excellent resource specifically for condo rentals. Real estate agents. You could work with a realtor, which can be especially helpful for newcomers. They have access to the MLS or the multiple listing service and can help you find properties that match your criteria. You could look at social media and community boards. Facebook groups, Reddit forums, and local community boards often have rental postings, particularly for sublets and roommate opportunities. Here's a tip. In Toronto, it's common for rental listings to be posted and leased quickly. Be prepared to act fast if you find a place that you really like. Okay, now about viewing properties. When you find a property that interests you, arrange a viewing as soon as possible. This is your opportunity to inspect the unit and ask important questions. What do you look for? Check for the condition of the property. Check on signs of damage, mold, or pests. Ensure that appliances are in working order and that there's adequate water pressure and heating and cooling. Amenities and utilities. Confirm what amenities are included, example, gym, parking, and which utilities such as heat, water, electricity are covered in the rent. Lastly, don't forget to ask about the length of the lease, renewal options, and if there are any penalties for breaking the lease early. Take notes and photos during the viewing. This will help you compare properties later and ensure that there are no discrepancies when you move in. Finally, about submitting your application. If you have found the perfect place, the next step is to submit your rental application. Given the competitive market, it's important to submit a complete and compelling application. Here's an application checklist. You should have a completed rental application form. You should have a credit report or alternative documents. You should have your employment letter or proof of income. You should have your references, your government issued ID, and any additional documents requested by the landlord. As a tip, write a short cover letter introducing yourself and explaining why you'd be an ideal tenant. This personal touch can set you apart from other applicants. Understanding the lease agreement. Once your application is accepted, you'll need to sign a lease agreement. This is a legally binding document, so it's crucial to read it carefully before signing. Now, key elements of a lease. Rent amount and due date. Make sure that the rent amount and payment schedule are clearly stated. The security deposit. In Ontario, landlords can only ask for the first and last month's rent as a deposit. No other deposits are legally allowed. Maintenance and repairs. The lease should outline the responsibilities for maintenance and repairs. Generally, landlords are responsible for the major repairs while tenants handle the minor maintenance. The rules and regulations. Review any rules regarding pets, smoking, subletting, and property modifications. If there are any clauses you don't understand or agree with, don't hesitate to ask for clarification or request changes. Finally, the moving in. Congratulations! Once the lease is signed and the deposit is paid, you can start planning your move. Some of the final steps that you need to look at are arranging for utilities and internet to be set up before your move-in date. Take an inventory of the property's condition when you move in. Document any pre-existing damages to avoid disputes when moving out. You could introduce yourself to your new neighbors and get familiar with the building's procedures and amenities. Moving to a new city such as Toronto as a newcomer is a significant step, and finding the right rental home is a big part of making the city feel like home. With careful planning, preparation, and a bit of patience, you'll be able to navigate the rental market and settle into your new life in this vibrant city. Do you need help finding the perfect rental? As a realtor specializing in the Greater Toronto Area, I can help you find a condo or apartment that suits your needs and budget. Check out my listings on Facebook Marketplace, or if you're ready to start viewing properties, fill out a rental viewing application on my website. All of these links are in my description. Let's make your move to Toronto as smooth and successful as possible. Cheers!